everyone, welcome back, and today we are doing a top 10 games of 2014, which was an amazing year. Like, this one was actually a really hard list I had to make into order.
I had to cut down a lot too.
I did too. Like, oh man, there's a lot of, I think we're going to have a lot of crossover. I'm going to predict 6. Actually, yep, I'm going to say 6 crossovers. 7. I'm going to say 7 crossovers.
I say at the most 5.
Okay, but that's still a lot. 2014 was kind of, I think it was like the year that games started getting good, and it just kind of just skyrocketed since then. Because 2015 was a great year, 16 was great, 17 was amazing, and all these games that are slowly coming out they look promising. So yeah, let's just get started. Do you have an honorable mention?
I do.
I do too. So my honorable mention is Star Wars Imperial Assault. An honorable mention because it is, I haven't played it enough. I actually have played it, quite a bit, but it's been a while since I've done it. We've done like 3 or 4 missions in it, and it has that same, Descent, kind of feel, but balanced and in Star Wars, so it's already fun. And like the scenarios are fun because it's kind of like learn as you go. You jump in, only a certain amount. Once you do certain action, you get to a spot, more theme is revealed to complete. And then the level up system is really cool because it's not just story. You go on side missions. You can go on personal missions for each person. But an honorable mention nonetheless. Because of that, I haven't played it enough. I haven't even touched any of the other expansions. Haven't touched the app, which I need to.
The app is fun.
Oh, have you done the app?
I finally played some.
Gotcha. Is it worth it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, where it makes it fully cooperative.
I can't wait until, it makes it for solo play for me.
Oh yeah.
Because I play the
right.
multiple heroes, but I can't wait for them to get all,
the expansions, everything
right now.
into it.
They still haven't.
They just have the base game in it, which is fine. There's enough in the base game too. Oh, yeah. And I haven't personally done it, but I've heard the skirmish is really good too.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Yeah, I don't have an interest in skirmish, but yeah, that's my honorable mention. Star Wars.
My honorable mention
Assault
has been on many lists. It's a filler game.
Okay.
One that you have not played yet.
I have. I have no idea what it is.
It's Eggs and Empires.
Oh no, I have not played that.
It is it's a small box game, and it really is not much theme to it. Everybody has the exact same deck of 10 cards, numbered 1 through 10, and they're like number 1 is like the Bard, and 2 is the can't remember the whatever, 10 is the hero, so they each have their own special ability. So you can play up to 6 players, but what happens is depending on the number of players, there's a deck of egg cards, like dragon eggs, I assume, and you're going to flip out a certain number of cards face up. Some of them are worth negative points, some of them are worth positive points. And what you'll do is everybody at the same time is going to pick, you have your deck, but you only have 3 cards in your hand.
Oh, okay.
So you don't have like full access to all 10 right off the bat, So you'll have 3 cards in your hand, you're going to pick one and put it face down. And then what happens, everybody reveals it once, and then you look, whoever has the highest number gets the first choice.
Oh, okay.
And then whoever gets, so you have to play it because if they're all negatives, you will, or whatever. If there's 2 positives and a negative or whatever, you don't want to be picking last.
Right.
And there's, but then there's also certain abilities, like I think the mage card has the option to not take the negative cards, and there's some of them that if you don't happen to get a card at all, because there's not as many cards out there as there are people.
Okay.
So if you happen to play one and you don't pick up a card, then you can get to put him in your scoring area as points.
Oh, interesting.
So it's like you're really playing mind games. Then there's the Dark Priestess, which is the 9 card, that if more than one person plays, they just cancel each other out and you don't get anything.
Oh, that's right.
So you have to try to play it. It's a high number, but you have to try to not play it when other people play it.
Yeah.
And then there's the Blacksmith and this other card, I can't remember the number, but like there's this, like number 3, I think, will always go before an 8 if there's an 8 played.
Oh, gotcha.
So you have to, if you think people are going to play the blacksmith, and throw the 3 out there, and you get to go in front of them and stuff. It's just a super easy game, and pretty much what it is you do. I want to say 3 or 4 rounds total, but so you need pencil and paper because you're going to write down the total points you have each time, and then you just go through, and whoever has the most points at the end of the game. So it's kind of like a bluffing game, I would say. It's not deduction.
No, definitely.
There is one card though that's kind of neat when you play this hero, or I think it's the scout. Okay. You get to look at the top card of the deck, so you get to know what it is, and then you put it face down out there.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
It adds, so you could end up eventually having more, out there, and it's like, okay, he knows what this is. So is this going to be a good card or is it a bad card? And you have to take a card. Yeah. Unless you're that mage. Right. It doesn't, so it's like, am I going to gamble and maybe that's going to be a good one or not? It's a great filler game. It was way under the radar. I bought it on a whim because it was a cheap game. I needed to fill a $100 trigger, and it's probably my most played besides Love Letter. Yeah. Filler game.
Alrighty. So now on to the actual list. Quick change because I've actually played the game I had at number 10 more lately, so it jumped up. So my number 10 is now Scoville. So Scoville is actually a really good game. Theme-wise, probably not the best in the world, but you're trying to make peppers in a chili contest, or to use to make chili, which are cards, which are victory points. And this is actually one of those games that Kat really enjoyed too and did really well. I think she was like one action or turn away from actually winning last time we played. But this game is so smart. So what you do is you are in a patch where certain colored peppers are. And there's actually a chart, so you will be crossbreeding these peppers if you're like, okay, well I want to go here in between the orange and the green, and then on my chart that tells me that makes a blue. I don't know. Which then you get, and then you can actually plant these later on to make different combinations to try and get these really awesome crystal peppers, which are amazing, because whenever you have all these built or in your storage, you can then spend them to make chili recipes, which are your victory points. Just that table of crossbreeding is so cool. I thoroughly enjoy it very much. Very simple game as well, and not necessarily cutthroat, but it can be kind of mean whenever all you do is move, because when you block spaces. So if you're in a spot that's going to get you a crystal pepper, people can't go there, so you block them. So you can constantly, what I did was I intentionally went out of my way to make a couple spots that gave me what I needed, so if I was blocked, I can just go a different route and still get what I needed. So the only thing I don't like, I really hate that board, because it's those 4 things you just kind of put together. It should have just been a board. Yeah. But
I'm sure it's because of the die cuts. They probably a folding board with die cuts.
Oh, I guess that's true.
Maybe. I don't know.
But other than that, at the beginning, you have an option of 2 cards, and those will get you peppers that you can use, and then on your turn you can move and go plant, and then or you can get the seeds to crossbreed to try and get. Some of them will give you 2 peppers, others will give you certain ones, and they did a really cool thing with the different sizes, which I heard was for colorblind players. I don't know how that really work. If you're like, hey, this really big one is the crystal one, and the one that's slightly smaller is the green. It's still not working. Okay.
Yeah, Chad really wants to play it too, but I told him I was like, I want to try it and just see.
Right. That's how it works. Right. That's what I heard, but it's a really solid game. I still need to go out and buy it though.
Yeah. And there's that expansion too.
Haven't done the expansion.
I haven't either.
I was gonna play with yours, but it was unopened, and I was like, I don't want to open his. So that's my number 10, Scoville.
All right, my number 10 is Nations, the dice game.
That's disgusting.
A wonderful.
It's not bad.
Pared down version of actual Nations, the board game, which is just a slog and long and
Is it?
drawn out.
For it's a lot
stuff.
shorter than Through the Ages.
Well, it
Okay.
is. But I mean, like Nations, the dice game.
Mm.
If you have everything already sorted and ready to go,
Mhm.
you can play a game of that in 25 minutes, maybe 30. 30 minutes. It's super fast. There's an expansion that just came out that brings in another color of dice and some more player interaction. And there's actually it actually came out with, because the base game has like Egypt, Rome, Greece, and whatever, another country, but then this one came out with more countries that you can start out with, but they actually give you, they're asynchronous, they actually have, they start with different stuff.
I
like
see.
their first board started with a coin and a reroll token. There's some of them start with 2 coins,
Oh, okay.
but they only have, how there's the 5, you start with 5 dice.
Mm-hmm.
There's one of them that you only start with 4 dice, and you can only have 4 dice at any time,
Okay.
or 4 squares.
Yeah.
Because pretty much what it is, it's not super thematic because it's a dice game and you're just going through. But you start out with your civilization, and there's these little squares on the bottom of your board, which represents a white dice. And you, at the beginning, you roll your handful of dice. You use the Yahtzee mechanic to re-roll a couple times, and then you get the resources that, or you spend the dice as resources, because they'll go up here. And then if you want to buy something up here, there's a chart that has multipliers on it, like 1 times, 2 times, 3 times.
Yeah.
And then so usually it's gold or swords or what gets you stuff. You can buy stuff, and then if you buy tiles up here that have different colored dice to upgrade your dice, then it replaces one of your squares, but you have to get rid of the dice you're covering up. So if you buy a blue die tile, you have to cover up one of your white, so one of your white dice is now out of the game, and then you get to automatically roll the blue dice and then spend it for whatever it's worth.
Yep.
It does everything that Nations, the board game, does. There's the lore track, and there's the Feast and Famine part of it and stuff, and it has some of the leaders and everything. It's just such a quick game. Plus, I really enjoy it because it has a really, really cool solo mode on it. So it's just a super game.
All right.
They keep supporting it.
All right. So my new number 9 is a game I just played like last week called 5 Tribes. So yeah, jumped up, beat out Scoville.
Wow.
5 Tribes is actually a really good game, and I can say that proudly, even though I've never won.
Yeah, that tells it's a good.
Yeah, whenever you
I
can
know
still
it's good
lose and be like, it's so good.
Yeah.
No, and it's one of those games that, like, I don't know, like, I like the strategy, I'm like, what helps is I can look back and be like, that's what I should have done. And I feel better instead of being like, I don't know what happened, am I stupid? But 5 Tribes is Arabian Mancala. Broken way down, like, if like to explain it. You start out with the expansion, 6x6 grid. Base game, I think it's just 5x5. And you just have this huge bag of different colored meeples: red, blue, white, green, yellow. If you have the expansion, purple. And then you just put all these in a bag, shuffle them up, and then you put 3 on each tile. Then your turn is very simple. Well, first everyone bids for starting, which I also really like. That also may have hurt me too, because I was just like really wanting to go first. I'm like 5 or 8, and they're like 0. Fuck!
Because it's something that each coin is a victory,
It's a victory point. Every single
it's
coin.
It's not like a lot of games where
It's like
3 coins is a victory point or whatever. This is each coin.
Each coin, and you start out with 50. So technically, if you somehow manage to never spend a coin, you have 50 points, which is a lot. Anyway, so you on your turn you take a spot, and so it's definitely not one if you have like anyone who's analysis paralysis, because they're like just like have a stroke.
Well, because they can't think ahead.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
Because
what helps is you look at it and you're like, that's what I want to do, and like chances are you're gonna be able to do it, especially from the very first turn. You're gonna be able to do what you want. And so you pick a spot, move them, and you drop it on the spot. Take all colors of like Mancala, and then you do the action of that colored meeple. Yellows give you points. Whites in the expansion give you also points, but also you can use them to get not the expansion. That's the space game. Yeah,
the white ones you can use.
Yeah, to get Jins. Purple, which are the expansion, give you treasures, which are fucking broken. They're not broken, but they're definitely something you want to go for. And they're also points. Then the reds are assassins, which I did not know that if you kill someone and it's empty, you claim that spot.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you about that in a sec. I'm not mad. I just didn't know until halfway through. I still did it, but it wasn't until halfway through.
That's definitely
a thing I'll remember. And then blues will give you coins, and greens will get you items. There's just so many paths to victory. It's like a point salad.
Don't forget you get to take the action of the tile you pick up on.
Correct, yeah. So then you get to take the action. You're getting basically 2 actions, so you kind of want to think of what you want to do. And this is a high scoring because it's a point salad. Everything's going to give you points. And it's just like, every time it was explained to me, it was just like, oh, it's Mancala. Nope. And then I played it with him, and I was like, and I lost. But barely, 10 point. Cat got second.
Usually the games are pretty close.
Pretty close, yeah. Unless you're just, for some reason, just.
I just never lose at it.
Have you never lost?
I think I've lost once.
Oh, okay.
But I played it many times.
Yeah. But it's just fantastic. The expansion is awesome. I don't know. Kat really likes it too. Whenever we play it again, she's like, I don't know why we don't play this more. And I was like, I thought you didn't like it.
I haven't played the newest expansion.
I haven't either.
Just to see
it adds a 5th player.
Yeah,
That's pretty much what it did.
Interaction, you can actually take spots from people too.
Right.
That
It adds a card, a deck of cards and stuff like that. But yeah, the expansion adds mountains, which don't drastically change the game, but at some point you're gonna be like,
they're irritating.
You're like, ooh, I'd be able to do that sweet move, but that dumbass mountain is in the way. It's just fantastic. The Jins all have really cool abilities. The last Jin I had actually allowed me to, I can either kill 2 meeples, a certain number of spaces away, or I can kill 2 of someone else's. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that you claimed the tile, so I was just killing people's stuff off, and then I was like, oh, you can claim the tile once you empty it? Man, I probably would have won that.
That's one way I won a game.
Oh, really?
The other group, I just go around killing, just taking the tiles,
So there's so much stuff here, but the game is also wickedly simple.
Yeah.
The treasures which the expansion comes with, I wouldn't say the expansion is needed, but it's pretty cool. My friend pulled 70 points out of his ass with his treasures. He just happened to have a really good combination that he was just like, oh, this allows me to draw, empty out the things, and replace them with 9. Oh, and I have this one that allows me to take the next 3. So he put all 3, and then he just got 70, sold it all, and got 70 points. And I was like, otherwise he would have got 90. So he won that one. Very last turn too, because there was nothing else to do. But 5 Tribes is my number 9. It's awesome.
My number 9 would be higher up on my list if I played more.
Oh, okay.
I've only played it
It would be higher if I played it.
Well, I've only played it 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
And I love the theme because I'm a Star Wars nerd, obviously.
This is all mine, man. I brought it from home.
But is Imperial Assault.
Okay.
I shied away from buying this game. I probably would have been buying it from the very beginning if I would have had people to play it with. But then when the app came out, I was like, this is it now.
Then it was a pain to get everything.
Now there's so much crap. I still don't have the big boxes yet. All of them. I have Hoth. I haven't bought the other ones
I have
yet.
them all.
But
it's sitting on my shelf.
Right, but then I'm like, I really, really want to get all the figures too to replace the little tokens. Just because
aesthetically,
yeah.
So that one, I stopped at that. I was like, I'm just gonna get the boxes.
Yeah. So I want to get the boxes first, but just like what he said earlier about it, it's especially with the app now. The app is so smooth.
Is it?
And it's so cool. It's just set. It just runs it for you.
Like Mansions of Madness.
Oh yeah. I mean, it just tells you when to put stuff out.
I don't know who they're paying to do their app, but they need to keep doing it.
I know. Yeah. And they need to make an app form of Netrunner.
You can make an app of Letters from Whitechapel.
That'd be cool.
That would
I need
be
to buy
cool.
that game sometime.
You do.
Because I think my wife would like it. Anyway, on
Imperial
Assault. I mean, I'm not really going to say much more about it. It's just
Right.
it's a kick-ass game.
I think it's better than Rebellion. I actually got rid of Rebellion.
I haven't played Rebellion.
Oh, that's right. You just bought it and sell it because you're you're just I don't know what that word is. Anyway, number 8 is when I hit puberty. Number 8 is a game that is people call it the Mysterium Killer. Makes zero sense to me as why these are compared to each other, but it is Deception, Murder in Hong Kong.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I know. I thought it came out later
one.
too.
Yeah.
Apparently, oh, by the way, I got all these games off of Board Game Geek. Whatever they said, 2014. That's what I put down. So hopefully none of these are wrong. But yeah, Deception, Murder in Hong Kong is a really good social deduction game. Apparently the expansion is awesome.
Apparently, I haven't played it yet.
But essentially what it is someone is the murderer, everyone else is investigators, another person is a forensic scientist. And what the forensic scientist does, he has these tiles that basically are these vague-ass clues. Location, way of murder, just all these, weather, stuff like that. And they have these bullet tokens that they place on one on each. And all that is the clues to what the murderer picked on how the murder was done. Because everyone has a row of 5 cards, or 2 rows of 5 cards in front of them. And the murderer picks one from the bottom, picks one from the top, and that's what everyone has to try and guess. They have to guess that pair. Well, the forensic scientist knows all of that, and he knows who the murderer is. He knows, so he's trying to give these clues because he can't talk. That's the kicker. He's just like, okay, his only way of talking is through these clues. Then everyone, including the murderer, is like looking around at everyone else's cards, their pairs of stuff, and is like trying to be like, oh, well, he put sunny. Okay, well, there's an umbrella that's used in in sunny days because someone is like, oh yeah, beach. And then everyone's like, okay, well, he said that the witness said it was loud. Oh, well, there's a construction building, and like the murderer is in on this the entire time. Now, what makes this game really great is that everyone only gets one guess. So most of the time, people will try and pinpoint it to like one person for some reason, and then if you're the murderer, you can guess too, and you can guess on your own and be like, I told you guys it's not blood and a condom, guys, really. But the thing is you have to get the pair. So even if blood was one of them and condom wasn't, that they don't win. They don't even get any hint. It's always frustrating for the forensic scientist because they can't talk. So if someone's just spouting, he just says something off the top of his head, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, you're a genius," and he's just like, "You're an idiot." I don't know. It's a fantastic game. Apparently, the roles that the expansion came out with are really good. I will say what this game did kill is like the resistance. For me, Mysterium I think is a completely different game. The only connection is one person can't talk. That's pretty much it. Mysterium just plays completely different and different theme and stuff like that. Island of Deception is amazing. I thoroughly enjoy it, even if I don't win.
Yeah. All right, 8.
Yep.
My number 8 is Legendary Encounters Alien. It takes the Marvel Legendary system and actually
Predator's way better.
makes it. Predator's.
I haven't played either of them.
Firefly's not bad, but the art is horrible. Anyway, the Legendary Encounters, what this whole series of IPs are that they're doing is they're using the base mechanics of Marvel Legendary,
Okay.
which is their first game, and then they're adding the theme to it, like the theme of whatever the IP is. So like, it plays pretty similar. Like in the Aliens one, you can play the actual movie.
Oh, really?
You can do Aliens,
Alien 3.
Alien 3, Alien 4.
Oh.
Which I know they're shady, but what it is, and you don't have to do that. You can
Shouldn't.
what's cool is you can even you can throw some of your Marvel heroes in.
Oh, really?
And play with them because they all use the same iconography and everything.
Okay.
So if you wanted to throw Wolverine in onto the spaceship to take out Predators, or
Aliens?
You can.
Huh.
You know, so
Have
it's
you
kinda
done
neat.
that?
No, I haven't
No, you
yet.
haven't? Okay.
Because I like playing it.
Like how it's meant to be
deal.
played?
So it's like if you look in the rule book, it tells you, okay, if you're going to play movie 1, you know, these are the objectives you need, these are the heroes you need in there, these are the, you know, so it tells you everything, and you're playing through, so your objectives play out. The first in Alien 1, you know, you're going through and doing these 3 different objectives throughout the deal. The different thing and what's cool about it is like in Marvel Legendary, when you have the monster deck and they come out face up and move throughout the city, what happens in Aliens is they come out face down.
Okay.
And it could be a hazard card, it could be your objective card, it could be a bystander, it could be you know, xenomorphs. So it comes out face down, and each area has like the attack symbol underneath it and a number, and that's scanning.
Okay.
So you have to use some of your attack when you play your cards that turn,
Oh,
so you can scan a room to see what it is.
Interesting.
All right. So those things are moving over. You can't attack it until it's flipped over. So you have to spend attack to scan the area, and then you're going to be able to kill it.
Okay.
But if they fall off, they don't fall off and leave. They fall off down into the well, I can't remember what they call it, the barracks or whatever. And then if there's a monster in there, when it's the monster's turn, they actually attack you.
Gotcha.
And you lose hit points because you have like an avatar
okay.
character. You're not like playing Ripley or any of that. Those are the hero decks that you buy cards of. But you have a generic avatar that you are. So you could be like a medic or a gunner or whatever.
That's
so
kind of lame.
It just adds.
You should be able to play the main.
Well, but
people
they're the cards you buy, and that's what
Gotcha.
you're using to
buying you Ripley.
Know. But you know, if I had to choose, like I like Marvel Legendary because of the vastness, and I like the Marvel comic book better. But if I was going on theme and the feel of the game, Aliens is better.
Gotcha.
Because it's tense.
Is it?
I mean, because you're sitting there like, you got to do this. Because, well, and what's really cool, real quick, is if a chest burster or a face hugger, if a face hugger card comes up on your turn, then you set it in front of you. If you do not kill it before your next turn, then it goes away. You take a chest burster card and put it into your discard pile, and then you shuffle it up. And once that card gets drawn, boom, you're dead.
Oh, that's right.
And then you have the option, if you want to play this way, to become a xenomorph, and then you get your own deck, and you get to actually be the alien playing against the other people. You know,
that does sound really cool.
I don't play as we've never done the xenomorph part, just because the game's hard enough as it is.
That's fair.
But it's kind of neat, you know. Like everybody's like, "Oh shit, he's got a face hugger! Kill it! Kill it!"
Right? That does sound really cool. Because those
awesome.
movies are fantastic. Well, 4 isn't, and 3 is okay.
It's not, yeah.
But the other
two is the best.
2 is by far the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to try that one out.
Yeah, it's good.
All right, so my number 7 is a game that is, I believe, out of print. But it is always it's one of those games that has been a success every single time we play it, and that's called Dungeon Quest. This is also one of those games that whenever we go to play, I'm like, by the way, everyone, so I heard some guy did the math on, and it's a 13% success rate to get to the middle and get out. That's all I've heard. I've never done any study on that. But what you are, so sorry, I make sure to tell everyone this is completely random. Like player elimination, you could die, you're out. That's just the game. But what you are is you are an adventurer trying to go into the middle of this map to the dungeon lair where all the best treasure is, and then make it out. You don't have to go to the middle. You are more than welcome to go in, get something that's worth 5 gold, and then leave. But once you leave, you don't get to come back. And the person who has the most gold when they leave is the winner. So if someone, if I walked in and found something with 5 and left, and someone went in and found something with 10 and left, I already automatically lose because they have more gold than me. But it's a very much push your luck game. It's so much fun because the board is completely modular. All the board is pretty much a place to hold your cards and a place to put the tiles. It's a grid with nothing on it except the treasure chamber in the middle. And there's a vast array of tokens. Whenever you move, or you go to move, you take a tile, flip it, and you move in it to it. Some of them are pitfalls, where you have to make a speed test, and speed tests are wickedly hard. You roll 2 dice, and you have to get lower than your attribute, 2d6. And if you don't find it, Or if you don't get it, like the pitfall, for example, you fall in and you die, and that's that. And then there's like so many cards. Like there's crypts where you can draw a crypt card, and then like others, and then which could be a trap, or you can go in and you can go into the catacombs, which is like kind of a way you can shortcut it to the. But sometimes you actually can go further because you don't find an exit. So you could go all the way across the map where you didn't want to, and then completely go in a different direction. So you have to trail your way back. This game is just so much fun. It was actually the first game I played with with his name's Devin. He's been in quite a few of my videos lately, up in Clinton. So we are like, I was like, hey, this is a fun game to teach you and to kind of get you into kind of this hobby. No one talks about it. Like,
Yeah.
never heard anyone mention. I know I've seen some people kind of try to find it, but it's out of print, and I really like the game, so I'm not going to get rid of it.
Right.
But that's my. Oh yeah, by the way, also when you get to the middle with the treasure chamber, there's like thousands, like they're worth thousands. But every time you go there, you have to draw from the dragon deck, which means if he's asleep, then you take 2 treasures, and you can stay there. Or if he's awake, he's gonna do a shit ton of damage to you, and you also lose all that treasure. So if you get there, you could get there and then try and get out. But trying to get out is just as difficult as trying to get there.
Right.
And you're also on a timer because at some point, like I think it's like a sunset. Once that goes down, the crypt or the dungeon doors can shut and you're trapped inside.
Gotcha.
So if you don't get out in time, you can also lose. But that is my number 7 dungeon quest.
My number 7, I know, is going to be higher on your list.
Okay.
For sure.
Sure.
It's Dead of Winter.
Sure.
Dead of Winter has been on our lists before.
Yeah.
It's your not your typical zombie game. Zombies are kind of in the background on this game a lot. It's more the trying to figure out if there's a traitor.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to stay alive by passing the little, whatever they call those. You need to pass the crisis cards. Yes, so that you can keep everybody healthy and fed and keep everybody happy. You need to keep your health and morale, and
You have to keep your morale up and your colony happy.
and all that good stuff. But it's really ingenious in the fact that you have your own personal goal to win the game. So you might be a good person, but you're hoarding cards so that you can complete your objective. But then that makes you look guilty. So that, it's just a mind fuck.
So yeah, from the get-go, no one, like I will say, like unless the trader's doing a really good job, once you find out that there's no trader, the game becomes kind of easy because everyone's willingly working together.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta say, there's been times where I've done that and everyone's like, yeah, there's no trader, and I was the trader, and I'm just like, oh yeah, no guys, absolutely, yeah, and then you just fuck them over right at the last minute. Just like, we need food. Guys, I can't. I don't have any food. And you just have like 18 food in your hand. I don't know.
Well, because it's one of those. It's cool because like, you guys, you can beat the objective and still lose the game.
Oh yeah, if you don't complete your objective.
You have to. So like, it's so stupid. I mean, not stupid. It's stupid in a good way because you have to be stingy, do your objective. And still be helping enough to win the deal, unless you're just the bad guy.
Yeah, because you can get exiled.
Yeah, and the bad guy still has to complete a personal objective too a lot of times.
Right, which is most likely make sure morale gets to 0.
Right.
Not always though, but yeah, if people really don't like you, they can exile you from the colony, which doesn't kick you out of the game. It gives you an exile objective, which has happened in one of my games, and it's pretty much relatively the same. You just can't trade, you can't help anyone else out. It's an ingenious game that, I mean, they've done a bunch of expansions. I don't know what happened to their other Crossroads series.
The space one, I think.
I heard Space. I think I heard Western.
Well, they had the boat went out. Space 1. So Space is supposed to be up. They had like campfire, like the camp. you know, like the whole Friday the 13th.
Oh, Camp Crystal Lake?
There was like a camp one,
Oh,
summer
weird.
camp.
That's
there was,
weird.
you know, stuff like that. But I think the space one won, but nothing's been.
Yeah, like
The company, you know, and I used to play test for them a long time ago, and it's just weird. Like you just don't. They're not out there as much.
No,
as
they're
they used
really
to be.
not.
They used to be like right on the.
they did the Long
yeah.
Night expansion, which is fantastic.
I'm saying I had that, but I got rid of it because.
Oh,
the
just-
base game is enough for us. We don't play
Gotcha.
a ton.
Oh
and
man, no, they,
you know,
like I would strongly suggest getting it back because what they do is they add experimental zombies and
Right.
like just new locations which are completely cool, and just for aesthetics a graveyard which does nothing except you put your standees there
Right, right.
with all the people who died. But yeah, like you know, pills and different cures and just a bunch of really neat stuff in here. Plus, you know, improvements like upgrades you can do on the colony. And more crossroads cards and just all
oh
that
yeah,
stuff.
no, it's fine. We just play. We maybe play it once a year.
Gotcha.
So it's like, you know.
Yeah. And then they did the Warring Colonies, which I don't think I'm going to get. It adds a lone wolf, which isn't a solo variant. It's that one person is playing like they're it's like a not really one versus all, but they're doing their own thing
Mhm.
the entire time, and then other people are doing, I think, probably just a regular game.
So it's Daryl.
Yeah, pretty much. And then they have the Warring Colonies where it's like you kind of need like 4v4 and you have your own
Right.
colony stuff and you're fighting each other. I didn't feel like I wanted to get it. All right. So, number 6. My number 6 should be on your list later on. It is a fantastic game called Imperial Settlers, which, if you don't know that one, you may know it's pretty much brother, 51st State. Pretty much the exact same game. But Imperial Settlers is one of those games that is a civilization building game to where you are a certain faction and you have your own faction deck, which are, you know, unique and special cards to your faction, and you have a common deck that you're just trying to build and get the most resources and get the most points, which inherently doesn't sound that great, but I don't know, there's something about this game that makes it really, really neat. Like the fact that each card has like multiple things that you can do with it. You can trade to get resources constantly to be able to use to build your buildings. And then you have these raise tokens which you can use to go attack people, to demolish, you know, only their common items or common buildings. You cannot attack their faction buildings unless someone's playing the Japanese faction. Then you can attack them and kill their point buildings. But what's really cool is each faction feels different.
Oh yeah.
Very much so. So it's like I don't know. Trying to explain this game is like what makes that different from everything else. It's like what's really nice about this is that like when someone in most civ building games, whenever you attack someone, you completely demolish everything that they've done, and it's like okay, well I'm starting over. I'm not going to play anymore. With this one, you're not attacking all the time. And then you only have a certain amount to attack them with, and they still get something. Like they get like I think a wood. They like get some debris back, and which is nice. It's a very fun, cute game. And they just released or announced another the Amazon is man. They could.
I was just looking up there this month, I think in March.
Mhm.
One of the little Empire packs is coming out too.
Oh, is
It's
it?
called We Didn't Start the Fire.
Okay.
It's coming out, I think in March.
Okay.
That's what I was looking at. But what's cool about it is it adds more cards, obviously, for
Mhm.
replayability, but it's going to add borders that you can put between
Really?
civilizations. So I don't know what that's going to mean. I just read the thing right here. It says you can put borders that are placed between each pair of players.
Huh.
So I don't know if that
So
makes
it's
it
kinda
harder
like you
to
can't attack each
screw-
other?
Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know. We'll see.
Because they added a why can't we be friends, which
Right.
I like because it's like some certain cards are like, hey, give me some of those resources and you can kind of like trade a little bit between each other. Then they added another one which I don't really like, Three's Company, I think is what it is.
3 is a magic number.
3 is a magic number where you had to get like sets of a certain type to get a bonus. I didn't really care for that one a whole lot, but like I've played the Atlanteans, which revolve around other specific tokens which give them a benefit, and they have these really cool Atlantis buildings. Then there's the Japanese faction, which they have samurai meeples, which they can put on their faction buildings to increase the defense value, because they're the only ones that can have their faction buildings destroyed. You have the Egyptians, which are all about gold and taking over other people's shit. And then the barbarians, which are pretty much all about plundering, yeah. Raiding. And I don't know, like that column mechanic is just very simple. Okay, well these certain cards go up here, here, and here. It's the same thing that Alien Artifacts did. And
It's 51st State does that way too.
yeah, exactly. And it just works. It works really, really well. I still need to try the what's the green box one?
The Aztecs?
Aztecs.
Yeah,
I still need to try them.
either.
And then they just announced another one, the
Amazons.
Amazons.
They all start with A. Have you noticed that?
Do they?
Yeah, because that's just what they said. I was looking at the Amazons. It says all new Imperial Settlers factions begin with
Oh,
letter
they
A.
do, yeah.
Aztecs, Atlanteans, and Amazons.
Huh.
It's weird.
I was hoping for Spartans.
Yeah.
I thought Spartans would have been
Maybe.
really cool. But that's the thing, is they can just keep
Yeah,
releasing
they
these single faction expansions, because why not? Like, just, hey, here's Spartans, here's...
This one seems interesting because it's going to be dealing with your deck. You can discard and deconstruct your deck and make
Oh,
it
that's
different. That's
interesting.
what the Amazons do. So
Oh,
it'll be
okay.
interesting.
All right, yeah,
Yeah,
so that's
it's
my
great.
number 6, Imperial
All right.
Settlers.
My number 6 is one I don't think you've played yet, but I think you would. I would hope you would enjoy it since
Okay.
you like Orleans and stuff
Oh,
like that.
okay.
Because it's kind of it's not the same kind of game, but it's Istanbul.
Oh,
It's
not
been on my lists
Constantinople?
before. So on Istanbul, it's pretty much the end game is you are trying to get the rubies. Is a certain number of rubies wins you the game. So it's an engine building game and resource management, because everything you do in the game, like you need to get this resource, enough of this resource in order to convert it to this resource, which will get and convert that to this resource to get rubies. Or there's certain. What it is there's a bunch of tiles. I want to say there's 9 or 12 tiles. I can't remember if it's 3x3 or 3x4, but there's these tiles, and every tile has an ability on it. Think 5 tribes in a way,
Okay.
like that. But you start out with you're a certain color, and you have all these discs. So you have your main disc, and then there's I think 4 or 5 little discs under you. So you take the whole pile, and each tile you move to, you leave one behind.
Oh, you did tell me
It's
about
like
this one.
reverse. It's kind of like Mancala.
Yeah,
kind
sounds
of.
like it.
But you move, but then like you can't go like you get to this tile, you do this ability, but the only way you can go is you have to backtrack to pick them back up.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then you can move. So like you can't just keep moving and go up to the other side. You have to backtrack the way you came
Right.
to do it. But there's like a fountain that if you can move to the fountain, then it just sucks all the stuff back to you.
Okay.
And you can go from there. There's there's a governor pawn that is roaming around, like a purple one, and then there's another one that if you happen to get with them, you have to pay like a tax, or
Okay.
you can bribe them or whatever. But pretty much everything you're going towards is you're just you have a wagon that has resources on it, and you can buy little extensions for wagons so you can get more. Remember Dice Forge when you were getting those extensions?
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
You can do that with your wagon to get more of those resources.
Okay.
But you're pretty much just trying to get the rubies is the end game.
That's right.
It sounds really boring. I mean,
Trying to get rupees.
the box cover is boring. It sounds boring, but I played it. The first time I played it, I was like, "This is awesome!"
Right.
Just everything with it, and I have 2 expansions out now. There's like I think a coffee one, and then a letters and something
coffee.
that adds up more tiles.
Okay.
And more resources and different types of stuff. It's a very good game though. It's a fairly decently highly rated one.
Right. Yeah.
It's a good one.
I've never heard anything negative about it. All right. My number 5. Oh, I don't think you've played this. Is a game that it was either I can't remember if it's one of the first but it's definitely one of the best games that use an app called Alchemist.
The
Alchemist.
game has always intimidated me. That's why I'm not.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Because
Everybody
it's gonna be
talks
too
about how
brain-burny.
Yes.
I don't think so. Maybe if you add the expansion, trying to get the King's Golem, that one is like, okay, what? Alchemist is a game where you are trying to create potions, and once you create those potions, you're trying to publish theories, which are points on what these potions make. Now, what's really cool about this is it uses an app. So it's a CGE game, so there's different spots for different actions. Kind of think dungeon, pets, dungeon, lords.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of different spots that you can go to with a bunch of different actions. And a lot of these have ingredients where you can use these ingredients to then go and put them together. So they'll have pictures. It's very simple pictures, a frog and a crow's foot. And then you go and then you put them in and you scan them with your app and it'll tell you this makes a positive or negative red, green, or blue. You have 6 different options of what this can possibly make. Oh, 7 technically because it can be neutral. And what this tells you is that, okay, this is a positive blue. So you take a token, you put it in your little cauldron spot, and now you know you have a sheet that crow's foot and toad create a positive blue. So you just mark off everything that's negative blue. So it just cuts it in half almost immediately. And you're never going to find out exactly, you're trying to find the perfect alchemical for the 6, I think,
right.
6 or 8 different ingredients. You're never going to find them all, but you can find enough. And what's really cool about this is if one, it's very thematic, and 2, it's like, okay, I figured out what toad is completely. It's negative green and red and positive blue. Well, then you can go and publish a theory and get a bunch of points. Be like, I know what this is, and people can debunk you if you're like, there's no way you know that, or
right.
if they find out that, oh, you said that it's that. I got something different, and they can debunk you, and you can just walk up and be like, yeah, guys, it's totally this, and then someone's like, he's an idiot, it's actually this, and then you lose points and
right.
reputation. It's just a very, very smart game. You can also build potions, and you can go and sell them to get coins, which you can then go to spots to build to buy items and equipment which help you, which are also worth points. At the very end, you have like a competition, or hey guys, this is all the stuff I can make just for extra points. Mm-hmm. It's fantastic. I don't think it's really brain burning at all because you can just all you do is you scan it and you're like, okay, that's the symbol I got.
Right.
It's a very simple process of elimination.
Yeah, I'm just going off what I've heard
right,
on podcasts
right.
and stuff. I mean, I'm sure.
Another really cool thing is this. The last time I did this, people who publish theories, you can actually look at it because they have to take a token and show you the 3 different symbols. Mm-hmm. You can actually go and be like, all right, yeah, I agree with you, and you can be like, you can back it, so you can get some points. Mm-hmm. But what I've done is to figure out for certain what something was. Someone published it, and I was like, they probably know. And I was like, yeah, you better be sorry. Playing footsie with me. And I was like, okay, so that's what they're saying it is. And so I just look, and you can just be like, all right, that's what it is now. Yeah. And that can help you with other ingredients later on. The expansion is cool, totally not needed. But if you're bored with the base game, the expansion adds a few more slots and different ways that you can figure out what something is. Right. And also you can try and animate a golem, which if you're doing that, will get you a bunch of points. And it's a very completely different way to try and animate it. I actually have a section in my how to play video that describes how to do it, because I had to sit down and basically fake a game. I was just constantly just going back right. trying to understand how this way, and it finally clicked. And I hope if I play it again with the expansion, I remember. Otherwise I have to go back and watch my own how to play.
Right.
But it's fantastic. I love this game. My number 5.
All right. My number 5, you've played it, I believe.
Okay.
It would be a lot higher on my list even once I get the Kickstarter. Mm-hmm. It is Shadows of Brimstone.
Oh, interesting.
It is a very, 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 very entertaining and fun game. Western horror RPG game. It's a roll and move, which you either love it or hate it.
Right.
In this game, it's fine, because that is part of the threat of the game. The danger of the game is because every turn you have to hold back the darkness. Mm-hmm. So it makes you have to roll another dice to see if you get enough so that the darkness doesn't.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that mechanic.
But some people just set a certain, okay, every hero has 5 movement points.
Mm.
But I think that takes away, I mean, it makes you get through the stuff faster, and then it's like the darkness stuff doesn't, you know, it's not supposed to, it's a co-op game, it's not supposed to be like
Easy.
super easy. Because
Right.
if your character, I mean, all kinds of shit can happen to your character.
Right.
They can get corrupted and mutate, they can go
Mhm.
insane. If they mutate, you have to roll dice on the mutation chart and see what happens. They may
Yeah,
grow
that was cool.
They may grow a third arm, or like I think the character I have going in my campaign right now has I have horns on my head. My mouth is grown over, so I can't talk. So like when I go and buy stuff at the shops, I have to pay like $10 more because I can't.
Because they
or
were like,
whatever I have.
geez,
to,
God, yeah, just take it. I'm like,
I think Chad has eye stalks, like a lobster, a crab, lobsters,
oh,
you know, those little. And then the other Denton, he has a tentacle arm.
okay.
You know, so there's just all kinds of stupid stuff that can happen, and there's so much story behind it, and it's not really, you can make a campaign out of it. It's not like a solid campaign. You just pick
Right.
adventures and you just kind of go on.
Yeah,
they
they really
have-
like connect too much.
Right. They have 2 base games out right now, which take place in the same, one's swamps and one is the ancient
Cities
city.
of Ancient
Right,
and Swamps of Death.
Right,
is what it was.
something like that, yeah. But the Kickstarter for his Forbidden Fortress takes it into an Asian
That's gonna be cool.
world, which I spent way too much money on the Kickstarter. But what's cool is they all integrate. So like when you can start off in the Forbidden Fortress, you can start off with the mines, whichever you want to start off with, but there's portals that'll pop up.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
if you go into the portal, then you will roll a die, you know, you'll randomly choose a card or pick whatever they do, and you may end up in this Asian land, you may end up in this frozen land, you may end up in the swamp, you may end up in, you
Yeah,
know,
that's right.
they've got the derelict ship out now, expansions, you may end up on a spaceship.
Oh, cool.
That's like a shutdown spaceship, you know? They have so much crap out for it. Downfall is you have to put the minis together.
Oh, God, they're so bad, too.
Which I did, my collection that I have, I didn't because I didn't do the first Kickstarter, but I bought a collection from another guy who had already assembled everything and everything, so I lucked out that.
You did
But
get lucky.
when I get the Forbidden Fortress, there's so much crap in there that I'm going to be going over to Chad's and because the big monster mini in the Forbidden Fortress it's called the Dragon King. He's an Oriental dragon, but he's 13 inches tall. So it's gonna be
It's
nuts.
so stupid. You have to put it all together, and it's not going to fit back in the box.
Right? Yeah, they won't go back in the box. It's one of those games though. It's fully co-op. There's so much story. If you get the Frontier Town because it.
Oh, it does more with the town, right?
Right, because normally if you didn't have Frontier Town, you know, after an adventure,
You just went,
there's
like,
this little board, and
Yeah,
you'd be like,
that's
I'm gonna go to, you know, small town, little town, you know, whatever. Now the Frontier Town adds a whole nother board, and there could be you could have
a shootout.
shootout or whatever. You could go rob a bank. There's so many more options.
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah.
that happens, and it's very, very thematic, and it
Yep.
throws in. There's some Cthulhu kind of just like
Yeah.
stuff in there, and then there's like zombies, and skeletons, and then just all kinds of weird monsters.
Yeah,
And
I remember it's like, I think the reason, I can't remember why I got rid of it. I think ultimately it's because it's still kind of clunky.
it is. I'm not.
It's Flying Frog, so I mean, you get what you get with. I mean, well, with their ideas and the implementation of games is really neat. Like Fortune and Glory, I still have because it's a really fun game, but it's still kind of clunky and older mechanisms.
Right.
That's you just kind of have to deal with it and replace it with, hey, really cool theme.
Right.
And still
you play
fun
it for the
gameplay.
theme and the fun. You don't.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you got to go into it knowing that it's going to be
Like
kind of hokey on
yeah,
some of the
because like
stuff,
since your character changed, there was no real representation to show that. You just had to like actually have like a notebook and write it all down.
Right.
Like if you were buying ammo upgrades, you didn't get tokens.
Well,
you had to be like, oh, okay.
on
stick it.
BGG they have printouts.
Oh, do they?
You can print out, and it's because that's what we use at Chad's
Gotcha.
house. So it's all printouts. You just it has it all.
Oh.
Right, and you just write it. With
I
pencil
didn't
in
know
there.
that.
Yeah. So
Because I was like, I had like special bullets for one of my revolvers.
The
Darkstone bullets, and I was like, okay, and wrote on a sticky note and stuck it to the card.
Yeah, there's tons of different versions. Like there's probably 20 or 30 different that people's made that is the whole double-sided sheets, and you can keep track of it on that, and it makes it a lot easier to bookkeep.
Well, knowing that, I may have to go pick that game
up. It's a
wonderful,
wonderful game, though, and I'm excited for Forbidden Fortress to come back.
Yeah, that's going to be cool. Yeah, because that's actually a popular theme right now is feudal Japan.
And that's why I didn't get
Rising Sun. You got it now.
Well, I'll have it for a little bit. I'll probably sell it.
Probably. I don't think it'll, because you have to have at least 3 people to play it, and if you don't, I mean, I'd say 4 or 5 would be your best bet. Anyway, so number 4 is a fantastic game. I have not played the other version of this game, but I love this one. It's called Roll for the Galaxy. Roll for the Galaxy is obviously a version of Race for the Galaxy, which I've never played, which is a card game of this. But Roll for the Galaxy is, oh man, it is, I mean, obviously it's really good because it's on this list. But essentially what all you're doing is getting dice, which represent, different workers that you have, and you're secretly rolling them and assigning them to 5 different actions. And what's really cool is this has a mechanic I really like called simultaneous action selection. So it's like, okay, out of the dice you rolled, you have to pick one of them and you're like, this is the action I'm going to do. But you can assign the other ones to the different actions, not that you're guaranteed to do them, but if someone else picks that action you have dice under it, you also get to do it. And really all you're doing is assigning these dice, trying to get a bunch of credits to be able to spend later on for different goods and stuff, and then you're also wanting to produce to be able to build, space stations or just other technologies. And then there's other dice that allow you to explore. So you're building a tableau pretty much of ships or planets that you've done and technologies which give you special effects, and planets give you other dice, which you can then use to ship goods off, which give you credits. And I mean that's pretty much it. Like in a nutshell, like the expansion adds more tiles and different dice, which can be used for money, because money is used to hire people. Because once you spend these dice, they actually go back, and you have to recruit them and get them into your cup. There's nothing I love more in a game that is I mean, it's not like super thematic, but to look at your tile and be like, oh, these are all these cool planets I've discovered and all these technologies I've built, but also with extremely smooth mechanisms in the game where you can just, all you're doing is shaking up these dice and you're rolling them secretly. It's like, okay, well, I know for sure I want to do this, and you can actually take one of your dice and you basically make it a manager to be able to use any dice for whatever, so you're not hosed by dice at all. And you can be a little bit, but it's like, okay, well, dang, I really wanted to explore. I didn't get that symbol. Oh, I'll just move him over and I'll delegate that one. So I'm going to do this, and I'll put these other here, and maybe they'll do it. Or it's like, okay, he really needs to build that technology, which is a lot of points. He's probably going to do that. So I'll put these under here and hope he does that. But I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna do something else. I also want to do technology, but I don't want to. Maybe he'll do it, and I'll still get to. Well, I can do something else. Very, very smart game. I know the Dice Tower likes Race better. At least Tom likes Race for the Galaxy better. I've never played it, so I can't really compare them. But Roll for the Galaxy is fantastic. Although not supported anymore. I wonder why.
That ambition expansion. Well, actually, Z Garcia said there's another.
Is there another one on the way? Perfect.
Yeah, he was saying it. I don't know what it's called or anything, but they were talking about it. It was on one of their latest videos.
Fantastic, because the Ambition one is the one I have, and that was pretty much it. But yeah, that is my number 4, Roll for the Galaxy.
My number 4 has already been said.
Aha! I don't know, Imperial Settlers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, for all the reasons he said with Imperial Settlers. I mean, it's a wonderful, wonderful game. I like it a lot better than 51st State, just because it's more accessible, the theme.
That is
people
true.
Play, it's more cutesy. I really, really enjoy the solo mode of Imperial Settlers as well.
Oh yeah,
you're pretty much just taking on the barbarians. Like it's just
is that it?
Are coming, and you're just and it's see how many points you can have. It's just a points deal, so it's not like but you have a certain number of turns you're just building up and trying to get as many points as you can in that time. And there's a barbarian deck, that's constantly going and
Gotcha.
stuff. But it's really fun and the more they obviously are going to keep supporting it because they keep putting stuff out.
That's true.
They put 3 big boxes and now they have 3 little boxes.
Yep.
So they're going to keep
And they're going to keep doing it. I think they're done with 51st. No, wait, they're doing a.
51st came out later, so I mean
Did
they put out a small box expansion of Scavengers.
That's right.
I haven't heard of any big box yet.
That's right. So Imperial Settlers is still
It's
supported.
still-
They're going to support.
Yeah.
What they'll probably do is keep supporting that until Alien Artifacts takes off. And then, because I know there's already expansions coming out later on this year for Alien Artifacts, which I'll probably
there's a
get
little expansion that should be hitting the stores here anytime.
for Alien.
Yeah.
I mean, that may be what it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, with Imperial Settlers, it's just those civ building games are still extremely popular. Like obviously Civilization, I think the New Dawn was pretty successful, and then obviously the computer game. Just keep doing cool, unique factions, and then like your game does not get stale. Give variety. Like it's not enough for it to be variety just for variety's sake. It's like, oh cool, there's just a bunch of but they all play the same or whatever.
Right.
It's like make them unique so people can feel like they're that faction or they're that character.
I know you don't like deck building
Mhm.
or deck constructing.
Yeah.
Do you ever mess with that with those cards? Because
Nope.
those little box expansions have more cards.
Had more cards. I put them
you
all
can
in.
alter.
I just put them all in.
Okay.
And like I didn't sit there and try and build
Right.
a specific deck because man, I don't know what it is about it. I just really don't like it. I think it's just too much of me trying to do with Magic and getting stomped on that I just feel stupid when it doesn't work, and I'm
Right.
like, I don't like this feeling. So
I alter mine because it changes, like trying to beat scores in solo mode and stuff.
Oh, that's fair,
I'll
yeah.
try to whittle it in.
okay, so my number 3 has already been said.
Your 3 has been said?
Yep,
Dead of Winter?
Dead of Winter. Pretty much everything he said, except the one thing that we didn't really talk about was what this game does better than any other game, because no other game does it, and that's the crossroad cards.
Yeah.
These things are so cool. I think it was you that we kind of disagree on. You don't think they're used enough, and I think
I want them used more.
you want them used every single turn.
Well, not every single turn.
I know.
Like, I love it when, what's her name?
Oh yes,
The promo character.
Felicia Day.
Yeah, I love it when she's out there.
What
Because
is-
she takes the name of every
Oh,
person.
that's
So
right.
like whenever, if this person's on the board, it goes
It
off
goes
because
off.
she takes the place of everybody. I love that
That-
because I love the chaos, just the
Right,
stuff
right.
constantly happening.
I think the game is already difficult enough to already have, because not all of them are bad. Here's the thing with the crossroads cards, if you don't know, is they have a trigger on them. So whenever it's someone's turn to do something, the person to their left or right draws a crossroads card, and there's a huge deck of them, and it says, if something happens, this immediately, it's like a scenario, it's a situation that now, so if this person's in the game, this happens. Or some of them, they bring outside elements where it's like if someone yawns, then this goes off. Or if someone scratches their head, or if someone shits their pants, oh my God, this happens. Hold on, everyone. I know you're sick because you obviously just shit your pants as an adult. But these situational effects that happen just make this game super cool. I think they're used just the right amount because they're so crucial. Most of them are crucial to the game that if they just kept triggering, it would just be like, okay, what the fuck's happening anymore? Are we even playing the game at this point? And on top of everything he said, you're also trying to go out, find supplies to complete these objectives, these crises, because they all have negative effects if you don't complete them. And it's such a fun game. The Long Night, I think, is a necessity, if not just for more crisis and more characters than just the experiment. Like the lab is really cool. That's a variant as well. The colony upgrade, you can get like a turret, which helps you kind of stave off zombies. They have ways to increase morale, just items, like a radio or something. And then there's like the bandit, which like bandits can come and like attack you as well. It's just so much fun. Dead of Winter is a fantastic game. That's why it's my number 3.
All right, my number 3 I don't think it's going to be on your list.
It is.
Arcadia Quest.
No.
I have been a big fan of Arcadia Quest since it came out.
But Massmora came out, and that's way better.
Massmora sucks. The only positive of Massmora was the minis, and that wasn't even good enough for me to keep it. No, it's a cool deal because it's not cooperative at all.
Right.
I mean, it's very PvP. Every hero is overpowered at certain points of the game.
I did a series on my channel. Go check it out.
Yeah, every hero is overpowered in a certain part of a campaign. You know, there's that Wisp guy is super powerful in this one part of the campaign because he just sneaks past everybody.
He's pretty much good anywhere.
Well, right, but I mean, like each one though, certain heroes are, depending on the situation,
right, like way better,
very powerful. You know, and then you know, I have many campaigns going right now.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done Inferno yet.
It's
I'm still working through.
It's okay. I did it with John, and like they have the angels and stuff like that you can get, but the implementation of them were all right. One scenario was just run around and flip over a token, and if you happen to find it, you get that. And it's like, what?
Yep.
It's like, okay, that's fair.
But pretty much just, I mean, you probably know anyway, but you have to complete generally 2 of the objectives, sometimes 3, depends on the number of players and what's going on. But one of them has to be a PvP kill. Mm-hmm. So once you kill them, you put a token down, and then you try to complete one of the other objectives. Mm-hmm. You work your way through the campaign, all to fight the little Lord Fang at the end of the
base
box.
game
But
one.
then you have like the graveyard has the big demon king guy. I can't think what his name is. But it's just fun. I mean, if you go into it lighthearted.
Yeah.
Because I mean it's
for sure.
You never, there's no player elimination because you die, you just respawn.
You just spawn back in your
you
hole.
respawn. I mean it's
but you get a death token, which is a
do.
penalty for the next game.
It's just you can't be too serious playing this game. If you do, you're gonna get butt hurt. But it's still a blast. It's one of my family's favorite games to play. There is actually. Did you hear what the next set is that's getting ready to come out? Or I don't know. If it's going, I'm assuming it's going to go to Kickstarter. I haven't heard. There's going to be animals that you ride.
Oh.
I don't know what it's going to be called. It's like beasts, something. But you're actually going to have mounts that your characters will be able to.
Oh, that's cool.
Like, get on them and be able to, you know.
Huh.
So I don't know how it's going to incorporate.
Right.
Because
they have the pets, right?
Yeah, which I don't have the pets box because that was kind of hokey, I thought.
But riding animals is not.
Well, you know, I did get a couple of the pets that were exclusives.
Oh, okay.
You know, you got for the campaign, but I didn't buy the pets box just because.
Right.
It was just kind of.
Yeah, there's just a bunch out there for them, and
the dragon sets make it co-op. If you just if you just do the dragon scenario, those are fully co-op. Which I got one of those that came with backing the deal, but I didn't buy the other 3.
Okay.
But anyway, it's a wonderful game. I found that you either love it or you hate it.
Yep, that's pretty much right. All right, so my number 2 is probably the best abstract game out there, called Onitama.
Oh yeah.
Onitama is.
I know what your number 1 is now.
No, you don't. Nope, I threw that game away. Onitama is essentially chess, but better, because chess is awful. And what you do is you have five people on each side. You have your, it's not king, but lack of a better word, king, and then your pawns. And the game only ever has 5 movement cards, all weird and different, and each person has 2, and then there's one in the middle, and each of your 5 people can do one of these moves, and so you pick one of these 2 to do, and one of them could be jump 2 spaces, or move diagonal, or jump, move back, and so you're playing this weird, amazingly strategic and tactical game, where you're not just limited to, pawns move forward and bishops move diagonal and rooks move straight or left or right, orthogonal pretty much, where everyone has the same option, so everyone's a threat. And what's really cool is once you do one of these moves out of your two, you swap it with the one in the middle, so it's very much, okay, what am I playing? What am I going to give my opponent? Because the one I just did, that's a really good move, I'm going to take this new one to put it out, and then whenever he plays, he's going to take that one, so now he's going to have that ability. And it's so good.
I still haven't played. I need to.
Yeah, you
Sounds
do.
fun. I think my wife would like it.
It's, I mean, and they're short too, for the most part. Longest game I ever had of owning Tama was, I think, 20 or 30 minutes. And it was one, probably because we were also, we had friends around, so we were kind of talking with them. But also, if you really want to, you can, like, it's a brain burner, because it's like, okay, if I do this, I'm going to do this, and he's probably going to do that. Because you have to think about what they're doing. But it's not like, okay, he has 2 rooks, 2 bishops, 2 knights, king, queen, pawns. He has all these options. If I do this, what does he get? Oh, he has all these options.
Right.
Like, you're limited to the five cards. I've played games where there's a really good card, the crab, all it does. And they're simple moves, really. It's like, okay, you can move up 1, or you can skip a spot left or right and just jump. So you can move 2 spots. And I've held on to that card the entire game.
Right.
I'm like, nope, you cannot have this one. And every single time, halfway through, someone's going to be like, will you use that fucking card? Because they would really want it.
They know you have it.
Because, yeah. And you win 2 ways. One, if you kill everyone on their side, or if you get your king or your emperor on their throne. So 2 ways.
You kill them by, like, landing on the
Not
space.
even that. Like, oh yeah,
Is
you
that
just
how you
land
do
on.
it?
Yeah, same way as chess. You just move
Gotcha.
and kill them. But with the emperor, I've actually gotten my emperor to the very side and then used the crab last game to just jump on and win. I've definitely won more games than I've lost, but when you lose, it's a hard. It's not you're sitting there like,
Right.
well, I had no chance. Sometimes, very rarely, you can get really like, I don't want to say bad combinations of cards, but really wonky ones. Like there's one last game I played where pretty much the only movement you could make was back or right. And there was like one card that let you go left.
Right.
So you just have all these weird movements, and I lost that one because I was just like, I positioned myself where I was like, yep, I'm just going not anywhere near your people. It's fantastic. Onitama, my number 2.
All right, my number 2 is probably your number 1. Now, there's going to be a caveat here because it may not be your number 1 because this game came out right at the turn of the year.
Okay.
So it says on BGG, it says 2014 on the game page and 2015 on the other page.
Oh, interesting.
So it's going to be either
Okay.
or. All right. So
I
my
don't-
number 2 is Orleans.
I don't even remember. Okay.
And I think the reason that is because Kickstarter, I probably got it in 2014 and then it went retail in
Gotcha.
2015. So I'm assuming that's what it was.
Yeah.
So Orleans.
Well, like I said, like we got these off board game geeks.
Right.
It says that year. It's,
Well, I just double checked because I looked. I was like, oh, it says 2015 on the deal, but then you click on the page and it says 2014 next to it. So I'm like,
Gotcha.
okay, I'm good. So anyway, Orleans was a game that I'd heard about a lot, over the years, especially because you have been preaching on it for
Right.
a while, and you hear about it on podcasts and all that stuff. Well, I finally got to play it that day.
Yep.
And it's a blast,
Mhm.
and especially because I've gotten those other expansions.
Did you get them both?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the one that adds the extra board, the better board, at the
Oh yeah, that's a necessity
Yeah.
by far.
It
Because
makes
did
it
you
more
see the base
interesting.
game
Yeah,
when
it's
you're like,
pretty
what the
boring.
fuck is
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, this
It's
doesn't
like
look nearly as
coins.
cool,
That's
you know?
it. Yeah.
But it's just really neat because it's a bag building game. So you start off with what, five or six, I believe,
Start with
right off
4.
the bat, or 4.
Start one of each.
Okay, and you use those. You place those to buy more workers of the colors that go into your bag, and then you're constantly going around and doing that, getting points. You can get points for freaking everything.
Yeah.
It seems like. I mean, there's so many different paths to victory. You can just see them. The one time we played, we didn't get to finish the game, but I was crushing you guys.
Yeah, right.
I was.
You
man.
were not.
I think I was up by 20 points going into the last round because I had all the silk, a huge stack of silk.
Yeah, but we were
Stuff.
Kat and I were higher up on the development track than you, and that's a shit ton of
I
points.
think I was up on all you guys.
We also, I think Kat had a bunch.
I
of
don't know.
stuff.
Anyway, what
You can keep bragging, but you were wrong.
but I've messed around. I actually played it with the fam. They really enjoyed it too. As far as just being able to pull the stuff out of the bag, it's simple. I mean, it's a tough game. It's not tough to learn the how to play it, but to do good at it.
Because you have to think so far ahead.
Right. Because you need to move down the road to get these things. You can go by ship, by water. You can get these wild guys that can count as anything. You can leave some.
Monks.
Yeah, you can leave some of them out there and not necessarily use them just because you know there's more in the bag that's going to cover up and stuff. So you may not get as many actions the one turn. But bastard. So you may know that it's something coming in your bag to finish off the move and stuff, and there's just so much you can do with it, and there's a lot more in the expansions that I know I'll get into more.
Right. Are you gonna play with the?
I'm not gonna do the entry.
Fuck you board. Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it.
I think I
just to have it in case
I threw it away.
Yeah, I know you tossed on the floor that night.
Yeah, that's. Oh yeah, I was like, oh yeah. No, dude, because that's like, why add cutthroat into a game that doesn't call for it? Like, a game needs to be built cutthroat, not... By the way, here's that. Because, man, I was looking through them. I was talking to Kat after you left, and I was looking at it, and I was like, oh, this one allows people that you can kill to their workers. Oh, I'm going to put a knight there. Oh, by the way, your monks are all dead. And it's like, what's wrong with you?
I think with it being as cheap of an expansion as it is, I think it was just there, and if you wanted to use some people like that...
Right.
You know, and
then added more events, which are almost always brutal.
Yeah.
And then I think it adds the other one added the co-op mode, and then the solo variant. I haven't done the solo. I've done the co-op. It's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
But yeah, it's a great game. I'm glad that because I hadn't even touched my copy.
Yeah, I was like,
play
the freaking game.
But yeah, it's very good.
All right. And number one. Can you guess what my number one is? It's Evolution.
Right.
It's Orleans. I didn't even know it even remotely said 2015. But I don't think I put it on my 2015 list. It's been a while since I've done that list. If it is, I'm sorry. But I don't think it is.
We have it. I guess I made it 2015.
Yeah, well, I did it as a video in 2015. That was my first, I think, top 10 or something, or one of them. But I'm putting it on this list because that's what Board Game Geek also says. So 2014, everything he said, Orleans is just a fantastic game. I'm almost wondering though, because I feel like it's also one of those games that there's a bunch of ways to get points, but I have yet to play it where if you don't go on the development track, you're gonna win. I think if you go up on and get civilians, because you have to get the civilians and build.
Right.
So I think, which is thematic to the point of the game, you're expanding into Orleans, or from Orleans into France and stuff, so you need to build the guild halls, which makes sense. And you want civilians to probably thematically fill those guild halls. So you kind of have to do that track, but that's still going to get you just doing that is not going to get you enough points.
Right.
Because you're not going to build all your guild halls unless you somehow solely focus on that. Because if you're only doing that, you're not doing other stuff. And then the expansion adds the co-op mode, which I've done, which is cool, and it's neat. Very hard, I think. With two, it's too hard. I think you need more people. I haven't done the solo. And then that new board of the latest expansion. Oh my God! Expansion necessity just for that.
Right.
Because the first one, the town hall, it's just like, all right, I'll put it here and get a coin. I mean, it's still a way to thin your bag.
Right.
I don't need farmers anymore, you just send them off.
Exactly.
But oh my God, they're so boring. The other ones are actually unique. Hey, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna put a monk here or a farmer here, and I get to move move across land and stuff like that. So very, very awesome. If you want to be an asshole, you can use the intrigue board, but I'm telling you, this game does not call for it at all, and you're just play a different game if you want to take that. I will never play. Like I said, I threw it away.
Yeah.
It also comes with a bunch of different events, which are really cool. A bunch of different technology tiles, which are so cool. It's so helpful. What's really neat. You probably would have won that game because I've won the game.
And I had the most villagers too.
Oh, the
At that
civilians?
point, they're civilians, yeah.
I think there was some, I don't even remember. But yeah, I've done that same strategy whenever there was a bunch of silk in that stack.
I just started putting them out there.
Oh yeah, I did that. But that can easily change because sometimes you can play where they're all out on the map, and you're like, oh look, the silk tile, useless. And like, oh crap, I need to move more and pick them all up. So even just random distribution of setup, it makes the technology tiles completely different. Some of them, like you put a monk there, and he's like praying, and all negative events don't affect you.
That's cool.
So it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna put a monk there. Oh yeah, that plague. No prayer saved us. So just variety is awesome. And yeah, it's
I kind of wish I had the deluxe edition.
Here's the thing.
To it,
but here's the thing. First of all, nothing fits in the basic box.
Yeah.
Like mine has like lid height that much, trying to fit everything in, and the production quality is still already really good. Yeah, I thought I had the deluxe edition, and I was like, oh, this isn't it. Well, but the tokens are still super thick.
Right.
But that's my number one.
It is out of print right now. People are
the deluxe edition
for all of it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was out of print.
I'm sure. I know they're gonna bring it back, but right now people are.
Whether it's that Vassal's Law where if a game's good, it'll eventually come back. I mean, I believe it.
Yep.
So that's my number one, Orleans. Orleans.
Do you know what mine is?
Is it 5 Tribes?
Yep. It has to be. It's my number 2 game ever.
Oh,
so,
that's right. That's right.
5 Tribes, just like he said. I mean, we went over all of it. I've taking out filler games and Netrunner. I haven't played. There's no other game I've played as many times as 5 Tribes over the years.
Dave's a Wonder hit it out of the park with that one.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've probably played it. Maybe.
You know, it's funny. Like our top ones for 2014 are games that we preached to each other.
Yeah,
like
true.
Play 5 Tribes, play Orleans. Okay, fine. And then we're like, these are amazing.
Yeah, but it's just so much cool stuff to do in it, and the expansions they add.
That Mancala theme it just gets thrown out the window. I mean, you're still playing Mancala, but it's like you're not even thinking about that while you're playing. You're just like, oh my god, I have all these options.
The first time I played it, we played it wrong.
Really?
What we were doing was we were like, this game got over really fast because what we were doing is we were dropping them off, and then where you dropped the last one, you took everything off of them. Because the guy that taught it to me the first time was like, yeah, you drop this white off here because there's another white, but then you take all these greens and whites and everything, and then you're like, I'm gonna do this and this and this and this.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, damn, the board cleared. The board cleared in no time. It's like, this isn't right. And then I started looking at the rules. I was like, you told me this wrong.
You idiot. You know, actually, funny enough, whenever Kat played with us, you know how she played? She thought who you took, you had to drop same color each tile. So it's like I have a green, so I have to place it in a spot with another green, and then a yellow, then a white. And yeah, I was sitting there, and she asked me last time we played. She's like, "Now it's just the last one that has to be the same." And I'm like, "Yes." She's like, "Oh, I did not play." So she might have actually won if she wasn't. She beat me doing that. I suck. But like, it's one of those things that I love about it, that it's like, you want to dabble in a little bit of everything. I did a little bit of the technology from the expansion, or the item tiles, but not nearly enough. So I was like, okay, I got like one that was like 9 points. I was like, okay, cool. But those items abilities, it's like 70 points out of his ass.
I love the gen that just lets you spend 2 of the white guys or a fakir and a white guy, and you can just take control of a tile. Because that's what I did.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, I'll just take that.
Because I saw it, and I was like, oh, you can only use these once, and you're not gonna correct me. I didn't ask, but yeah, I didn't know that. I sure as shit remembered the second time, but but they
have an expansion where you can take out gens now.
The Thieves, yep.
Yeah.
No, I haven't played with that one yet. I haven't done the Thieves.
We've played with it. It just doesn't really come up a lot, but.
So it's really
But anyway,
good choice.
Wonderful game.
So those are our games of 2014. Let us know what your games are in the comments below. But other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful every time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching this, and if you like this video, then click the subscribe button below to enjoy any video that I put out. And right next to that subscribe button is a little bell. Click that so you get notified of whenever I actually upload these videos. If you want to support the channel, you can definitely visit my Patreon page. The link is in the description below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.